Okay, Claude Fable 5 is back. The most powerful public AI, the one that's been banned in only 3 days after it has been released. It's live again, however, it did come with a brand new filter that makes it much more different and much more challenging to use. Starting July 8th, Anthropic could literally ask you to verify your identity with a government ID or a full face scan. So in this video, we'll go over what changed, what these restrictions mean for you, as well as the new filters that have been added to Fable 5. And then the good part, which is how Anthropic's engineers actually prompt this thing to get results that most people never will. Let's get it. So how does that happen to begin with? Day one, a hacker known as Pliny the Liberator leaks the entire hidden prompt system of Fable 5. And then the real problem, which is Amazon, Anthropic's biggest investor, got it to help find security holes within the codebase. They directly went ahead and flagged it to Washington, which ultimately resulted in the models being pulled offline. As you can see here, we got that Amazon researchers had found a method of bypassing Fable 5 safeguards, prompting it so that it identified a number of software vulnerabilities. Real quick, because most of the videos we've been seeing over the last few days, I'll just show you the flashy demos. Here's what Fable 5 actually is under the hood. It's what Anthropic calls Mythos class. So it's the same model as Mythos 5, which is the model that is inaccessible by the public. However, it has bolted guardrails on for the public to be able to use it. So that way it's basically state of the art on nearly any benchmark that matters. As we can see here, here are these benchmarks for the agentic coding, for example. If we compare it to the older best model, which is Opus 4.8, that scores a 69.2%. Mythos and Fable 5 score a 80.3%. So if you could scroll down through all of these benchmarks, it's pretty much the same. The increase and jump in performance is just insane. However, there is a little bit of a downside right now, and that is the safety layer. The safety layer is basically a classifier that decides whether your prompt is safe enough for Claude to execute Fable 5 in the back, or will it reroute you to Opus 4.8, for example. So as you can see here, it states that users will be notified if a request to Fable 5 is blocked, and then the request will instead be sent to Opus 4.8. Now, that's fine and totally understandable, but once they released Fable 5 a couple days ago, these classifier boundaries are much more strict than they were. As you can see, these are the classifier boundaries. And as you can see for Fable 5, it allows way less things to go through. And that is part of why everyone is upset with this release. It's because the boundaries of the classifier are way too strict. So pretty much anything you try to do, you're automatically routed to Opus 4.8. Now, I have been using it for the past couple of days when it came out. And I have to say, I'm not sure what people are on about because I have rarely been rerouted to Opus 4.8, and keep in mind, most of my projects are purely coding. Now, here's the second point that got people pretty riled up. Starting July 8th, Anthropic updated its policy so it can ask any user to verify who they are by uploading a government ID, as well as submitting a facial geometry scan, basically a face scan, okay, through a service called Persona. So I'll let you decide how to feel about that, but just know it is coming. As we can see here, we are rolling out identity verification for a few use cases, and you might see a verification prompt when accessing certain capabilities as part of our routine platform integrity checks. So there you have it. All right, so that's the news. But honestly, whether it scans your face or not, we don't really care. Because honestly, right now, most people are using the most powerful AI on earth like a search bar and getting mid results. Anthropic actually published how their own engineers prompt Fable 5, and it's probably completely different from how you use it. Let me break it down and stick around because I'll give you a couple of copy paste prompts that you can steal. All right, rule one, and this is the whole mindset. Stop treating it like a chatbot and start treating it like an employee, meaning don't feed it one tiny question at a time. Give it the entire goal. Tell it what done looks like and the success criteria. Hand it the tools and then just let it run. Fable 5 is built for work that takes humans hours or weeks. And I'm not the one that says this, Anthropic is. As we can see here, Claude Fable 5 takes on problems that were previously too complex, running, or ambiguous for prior models, and is particularly effective end-to-end work that takes a person hours, days, or weeks to complete. So this model is capable and you have to treat it as a capable model. Rule number 2, and this is the difference between something you can trust and a toy. AI models sometimes lie. Okay, they'll tell you a task is done when in reality it really is not. So the fix to this is you have to tell the model to audit every single claim against an actual result. So literally only report work you can point to evidence for. If a test fails, show me the output. If you skip the step, for example, say so. So this one set of instructions nearly eliminated all the fake report progress. So that's basically how the engineers at Anthropic keep it honest on long jobs. And we have it right here. On long autonomous runs, instruct Claude Fable 5 to audit progress against actual tool result. In Anthropic's testing, this nearly eliminated fabricated status reports, even on tasks designed to elicit them. So there you have it once again. And keep in mind, at the end, I will give you a master prompt that encompasses all of these measures. Rule number 3, set explicit boundaries. Tell it what it should and shouldn't touch. If you're just thinking out loud or asking a question, tell it the deliverable is its assessment. So don't go and start changing things around. And on long autonomous runs, have it constantly keep notes and constantly retrack its progress. That way it will continuously compare its outputs and results against what we actually want to get done. Boundaries plus memory is what keeps a task from going off rails. So I built you one template that wraps all of these concepts into one prompt, and it can apply to any project. So you can either paste it as is, or you can feel free to modify it. All right, so here it is. You can pause and screenshot it, or just grab the copy paste version from our free community. The link is in the description. Starting off, we tell it what it is, kind of remind it who it is and give it a little bit of encouragement. And then we set the goal. So what do we expect from you? Second off is the context. So who are you building this for? Why it matters, etc. We then move on to the success criteria. So essentially here you're telling the model what is a successful output and what are you expecting from it. We then proceed to clarifying what tools it can use. So can it access your files? Can it run bash commands? Does it have control over your Chrome, for example? Whatever applies. Next up is we tell it how to work. So this encompasses all the concepts that we've covered before. We tell it to work autonomously through every single step. And when it has enough information to act, it should act. So it doesn't have to re-ask things that we've already answered in the past, or list any useless options that we obviously would not take. Second is keep a running notes file, progress.md. I use this one a lot, and it's a good way to move from one Claude session to another, because as you know, the context window cannot fit all of your working sessions. So progress.md helps your Claude know what step of the task we are at and what has been done. Third is the definition of the word done. Before you tell me something is done, check it against a real result. Only report work you can point to evidence for. If a test fails, show the output. If you skip the steps, say so. Don't claim done until you can prove it. So this basically ensures that the model doesn't tell us, hey, I'm done, and then the real work, our expectations, are not fulfilled in the slightest. Fourth, if I'm asking a question or thinking out loud rather than asking for a change, the deliverable is your assessment. Tell me what you found and stop. Don't start editing until I say so. So sometimes on Claude, you're just brainstorming or thinking of ideas, and then Claude will go ahead and start implementing them and completely destroying what it built previously. So this ensures it doesn't do that, and brainstorming stays brainstorming and building stays building. Fifth is we're just telling the model to not pause unnecessarily. We only want it to pause and ask us a question when it truly matters. And last but not least, when you finish, leave the outcome in one plain sentence, then the supporting detail. So we're basically asking the model to list what can improve and to judge its work in a complete unbiased way. So that's pretty much the full picture for the Fable 5 release, and now you know how to prompt it and use it like the people who literally built it. I cover this stuff every single week the day it drops. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and thank you.